Golden tickets have been given out. So it's time to crank this bus up and get the rolling. Welcome back to another episode of The Ride. Team USA was announced for the tryouts, and a picture caused a frenzy in the sports world of women's basketball. People were noticeably upset about Caitlin Clark not being on the flyer. I told you, when Caitlin gets on the bus, she gives me a list. Being on the flyer wasn't on the list. It wasn't on the list of must-haves. Also, keep in mind, the managing director of USA Basketball for Women is Sue Bird. So she's basically picking the team and the players. Notice who she talked to back in the summer. Caitlin Clark. Notice who I pay attention to. Caitlin Clark. Notice it's all marketing. Caitlin Clark's a marketing major. If you put Caitlin Clark's name on a Team USA flyer and put her face on there, and you say you advertise Paige Beckers, that means you're basically guaranteeing them a spot. That would rub a lot of people the wrong way. And it would make some people happy. But you think about it like this. If you don't put Caitlin Clark's face on there, if you don't put Caitlin Clark's face on the flyer, and you look through that list of people that made the cut or who are on the team, and you see that name, you get hype. And her face not being on it actually brings more eyes to the process. Because before Caitlin Clark, it was basically just a thing that happened. Notice they had 2 tryouts in the early spring of 2024. They had one in February. She couldn't attend that one because she was in college, and it interfered with the college season at the time. Aaliyah Boston was able to go, and then the second round of the tryouts was in May of 2024. Ariel Atkins, Alicia Gray, and Aaliyah Boston all got cut, along with Ryan Howard. Ryan Howard tried out as well. So all those players tried out for the Olympic team and didn't make that final roster that ended up playing that July and winning gold. So it's part of the process. Many of them understand that most of these women have been in the pipeline. They've been in the pipeline playing on junior national teams. So they're used to this. This is normal. This is a normal routine. Let's go to 2020. In 2020, this was the Olympic team in 2020, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Jewel Lloyd was on that team. She was 27 years old. Skylar Diggins was 30. Sue Bird was 40. Ariel Atkins was a young 24. Chelsea Gray was 28. Asia Wilson was 24. Breanna Stewart was 26. Nafisa Collier was 24. Diana Taurasi was 39. Sylvia Fowles was 35, and she's since retired. Tina Charles was 32, and Brittany Griner was 30. And they won. They beat Japan. Dawn Staley was the coach. Cheryl Reeves was the assistant, because people been giving Carol Lawson a lot of grief because of Duke and some of the mishaps they've had this season. Can't judge a coach off of what she's doing in college compared to coaching grown women, along with other WNBA coaches, some of who've gotten NBA experience on their belt as well, like Nate Tibbetts, Natalie Nakase, so on and so forth. Experienced coaches. So at each integration, there's always some players that drop off. On this team, Skylar Diggins-Smith wasn't on the 2024. Sue Bird, Ariel Atkins, Sylvia Fowles, nor Tina Charles. And we looked at the 2024 team a few episodes ago, and I said a lot of those players will not make this team just because the Olympics is not until 2028. These players are going to play overseas, Project B, unrivaled, uh, and they're going to play qualifying tournaments throughout this whole process up until the Olympics. That's a lot of wear and tear. So you have so much talent in the Team USA pipeline, you have to start funneling in people. Think about it like this. When they won last year, Donna Taurasi was 43. Alyssa Thomas was 33. Asia Wilson was 29. Jackie Young was 28. Sabrina Nescu was 27. Jewel Lloyd is 32. Kelsey Plum's 31. Brianna Stewart was 31. Fee was 29. Kalia Copper was 31. Chelsea Gray's 33. And Brittany Griner was 35 when they won the Olympics in 2024. They need wisdom to bestow upon the younger generation that is going to take the mantle. Chelsea Gray, for the most part, will probably not even be on this team. Brittany Griner will not be on this team when they make the Olympics. But imagine you have a 6'7" Lauren Betts who's going to play center, who's trying to make this team. Do you want her to go up against a college peer in practice, or would you rather her go up against somebody who can really be aggressive with her, whether you like Brittany Griner or not? I'd rather have her going up against a 6'9" Brittany Griner, just to get that physicality, just to get that height and present a problem. And Lauren Betts will grow better from it, from going through these practices that weekend and the weekends to come, going up against Brittany Griner. Each one teach one. Chelsea Gray is a great point guard and has a lot of experience overseas. She'll be able to coach these players up in practice. Remember, they have to practice. You got to have a squad to practice. You need bodies. Chelsea Gray is perfect for it. Kalia Copper may not even play in the Olympics, but she can at least get some of the youngsters up to snuff. Remember, this ain't the WNBA. Yeah, it's going to be competitive. It's going to be physical, but it's one goal: to get the gold. You want these players to earn their spots. Caitlin's not going there with an entitlement. She's not going there with a sense of entitlement. Neither is Paige. They've been there, done that. They're going to earn their spots. Caitlin Clark wouldn't have it any other way. If she puts her face on that flyer, it basically gives a sense of entitlement, which is the worst message. Caitlin Clark done earned everything she's gotten in her career. She gonna earn a spot. It was taken from her in 2024 due to college and a bunch of politics. Those people have been removed from the scope. Dawn Staley, Jennifer Rosati, they're all gone. It's a clean slate and an opportunity to set the tone and set the team for the next 12 years. And she can make a couple more Olympics after this, but this one, you got to get it down now, because when you get these people in, these women that are going to be on this team will be the veterans when the Olympics come, and the next Olympics after this one, they will be even counted on even more heavily to coach up the next group that are going to be coming in, because you're going to lose players every 4 years. You gotta have some common threads in the pipeline. You can't go in to the Olympics with a whole new roster that hasn't faced international competition to that level. So you're going to have some stayovers. You're going to have a Jackie Young on the team that's going to be your veteran. You're going to have a Kelsey Plum on the team that's going to be your veterans. But at least when you're in training camp and you're competing, you need a Brittany Griner. You need a Kalia Copper. You need a Chelsea Gray. Period. Period. All new coaching staff. They got to get acclimated with one another. They got Stephanie White in the perfect position. She was a coach in the process in 2024, so she's familiar. Not going to be the head coach, but her years of experience will lend to Kara Lawson very well. Not sure how long Kara Lawson is going to hold the mantle. Cheryl Reeve did it for one Olympics, was the assistant coach to T.U.S.S.L.E. Before that, you got to keep the pipeline on coaching going too. It's about continuing USA dominance. One goal, win gold. Don't want no silver, don't want no bronze, and we don't want a participation ribbon. Period. I don't have no problem with the flyer. It got some people talking about Team USA 2+ years out from the Olympics. That's a win. That's a win because they ain't got no buzz with none of the players they had before. But leaving one player's name off got people talking. Remember, they're not selling jerseys yet. There's no Team USA jersey. There's no pre-Olympic jersey you're going to buy. But it gets you talking. Hopefully the talking gets them to put cameras in there and we start seeing some of the scrimmages and some of the games that they play. That's what I'm hoping for. If Sue Bird's listening, Sue, your company Together X, that's what you need to get going. Get some video. Get some go. I don't care if you're streaming on YouTube. Stream the practices on YouTube. Make a whole damn docuseries. Put it on YouTube. That's what we want to see. We want to see some basketball. I'd rather see that. Get that going. I don't care about a flyer. If you can see the players practicing, playing, competing in these practices and these games going forward as they go into team play and qualifying, I'd love to see it. That's how you grow the game. That's how you get people interested. But I'm glad they left her off the flyer. I thought it was a smart move, a good move, because it got the conversation started. But that's what I wanted to tell you about Team USA. It's just a process. You're bringing in new players. You're keeping some holdovers. Those holdovers, like I said, Ariel Atkins was on the team in 2020, and she did not make the cut in 2024. Neither did Leah Boston. But they helped them during those times when they were competing and practicing to get them ready. And that's how it's got to be. It's the only way. It's the only way possible. Everybody's not going to make that team on that list. It's not a final roster. These are tryouts. Angel Reese is not guaranteed a spot. Nobody's guaranteed a spot. But I know some people that are going to make that team because they had it on that list and they gave me that list a long time ago. And you already know. But leave your comments below, like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, peace.